This is Jack White with the Capital District Growth Team with another Monday morning message for Monday, the 23rd of February. We have a very, very special guest here today, Paul Palazzolo. Did I get it right, Paul?
Palazzolo.
Palazzolo. I knew I'd messed that up.
That's okay.
Paul is the president-elect of Kiwanis International. That means that come October 1st of this year, he will be the man. And he is working hard at Kiwanis and other things, and we're going to talk about some of that later. But he's taking time out to talk to us about some of the growth activities that he has been involved in and hopes to be next year. Paul, we were chatting just before we started this little session, and you said that as far as Kiwanis was concerned this year, with Don Kennedy as president, next year with you, that there was only one consistent theme, and you said it was growth. Is that your understanding?
Absolutely correct, Jack. And first of all, thank you very much for the opportunity to help reach out to the Kiwanians in the Capital District that are doing great things and helping serve their communities. This year we've had a focus on growth.
Paul, these things are being passed around, and I know there are a couple other districts where I'm not sure they have quite as wide circulation, but they're being passed heavy.
Well, that's great. Then a welcome to every Kiwanian. A welcome to every Kiwanian that's listening. And you're absolutely right. With Don Kennedy and the presidents before him, we're really trying to focus on growth and growth for service. And particularly next year, we're going to be looking at three ways that we can help emphasize growth for service in our communities in Kiwanis. The first one is growth for service through building and mentoring of new clubs. And as you know, it's very, very important that we not only build new clubs in communities that either maybe had a Kiwanis club before or maybe never had a Kiwanis club in its experience, that we build new clubs there for Kiwanis to have an opportunity to do great things, and then mentor those new clubs with the sponsoring Kiwanis club and those Kiwanis volunteers that help to build it to make sure that it continues to provide service for a very, very long, long time.
All right, that's the first thing.
Right.
Building and mentoring new clubs. Now, what's number 2 on your list?
The number 2 is growth for service. Again, not just for the sake of numbers, but growth for service by enhancing the member experience in our existing clubs. And when we do the right things in our existing clubs, Jack, and that's making sure that our club leaders are trained, making sure that our club leaders know that it's their role to provide a sense of value for their Kiwanis club members, to know that they're doing relevant service projects and having fun at meetings and service projects in order to be able to provide that relevant service. And so we're going to be promoting the right ways to do the right things in a Kiwanis club, from asking your club members what they want out of their club experience, asking the community what they need out of the Kiwanis membership that's there to help provide service, and generating a commitment from the club to address those changes if they need to be made, conducting membership drives that are fun, and then making sure that members that once they've joined are not just members, Kiwanians, by getting a sense of value for what the Kiwanis Club does.
I have heard from more people than I've got fingers and toes that the younger generation, which most of our clubs are, and you're part of it, Paul is 42 years old only and on the verge of being international president of Kiwanis. I asked him before we started, I said, what are you going to do when it's all over? And he laughed and said, we'll find something. But
take a breather.
Yeah. But they said that people have said that, the younger generation are time, maybe a little more time crunch than when I was growing up, and they want value for their time and their money. Is that your experience?
Oh, absolutely, Jack. Absolutely. And that's what I mentioned about in the second growth goal that I talked about. If we enhance the member experience, and if club leaders are trained to be aware of the sense of value in their Kiwanis club that they're about to lead, that they're going to be preparing to lead in 2009-10, if every leader was aware of the value element of their Kiwanis club, and there's two elements to that value, Jack. One is that the club is providing relevant service to the community. Sometimes we might have clubs that are doing service projects that really maybe have lost their relevance. We got to see if that is a service project that still is meeting a need that exists. And then the second part is fun, making sure that member experience is a fun experience, so that the laughter and enjoyment and fellowship is there, so that members will keep coming back to service projects and keep coming back to club elements, whether it's a club meeting or a social element. We just got to have fun and value in our Kiwanis clubs.
We've talked on these little Monday morning messages in the last couple of months, had two programs that talked pretty heavily about the 1-2-3 club context. Sylvester Neal did one of them, and it was played last month. Of course, you're aware of it there.
Very aware of it.
And that, the two of that is 2 hours of fun, or 2 hours.
The 1-2-3 concept is a great idea, Jack. It helps clubs know the fun and the value. There's service and fun involved in that 1-2-3 concept, and we just need to be aware of that. And as Kiwanis leaders, we're promoting it.
Even if you don't follow that exact format, it sort of establishes some priorities.
Absolutely.
The meeting and the meal and the gong is not all that Kiwanis is about.
Absolutely, Jack. That's correct.
All right. Now, we've gone through 2 of 3. Tell us what your third emphasis would be.
And the third emphasis, Jack, is growth for service through fulfilling our responsibilities of Kiwanis family sponsorship. And, we have some of the greatest programs within our Kiwanis family. We've got Kiwanis kids in elementary schools. We've got builders clubs in junior high. We've got key clubs in high schools, Circle K clubs in colleges, action clubs for those with particularly challenges in their life, and then the Key Leader program that helps young high school students know how to be leaders with their fellow students. This is what we call the...
No other organization in this country has anything comparable, do they?
They have tried, and they're working on ways to be comparable, but we have been successful with the family of programs for since 1925, when the first Key Club was built in Sacramento, California. And since that time, we've been teaching young people the values of service, because these young people work on their own service projects to help others in their school and in their community, and the value of leadership, because these young people serve as their own club president, and they even have an international president in our Kiwanis family. There's an international president for Key Club, and there's an international president for Circle K, and imagine the leadership and training that those young people that serve in those leadership roles learn. We just have a great Kiwanis family, and we need to make sure that our local Kiwanis clubs that sponsor these young people are fulfilling their responsibilities of sponsorship. And we're going to be emphasizing that throughout the next couple of years, so to make sure the Kiwanians are not just writing a check to sponsor these young people in their clubs, but are actively investing time in what we do in the Kiwanis family. And when we do that, Jack, we will show these young people that just by investing time, we show them that we care about them, that they are our partners, and when the time comes for them in their adult years to continue providing service to their community, if we've done our job well, they really won't be able to think about any other way to provide community service except through a Kiwanis club.
You are about as good a salesman for this as I've ever heard. I wish every Kiwanian could hear you. Tell me, we've had some disturbing growth numbers that our governor talked about in his message a couple of weeks ago, and I know it's been talked about up there. You don't sound like you're discouraged about it, though.
No, I'm not, because we are really now, as we mentioned at the beginning of our session here, we're really now focusing with a laser focus on the need for growing for service and making sure that we help club leaders learn the elements of fun and value. When we're doing the right things, Jack, folks will want to be able to choose Kiwanis in order to get involved in their community. And volunteerism, membership in organizations like ours may be not as positive as it could be because we're not providing that fun and value. And when we laser focus back to that, folks will be interested in choosing Kiwanis to make that contribution back to the community.
We're going to have one more session next week with Paul, and we will talk about some of his personal aspects in Kiwanis then. But for now, this has been another Monday morning message from your Capital District Growth Team. I'm Jack White. Thank you for listening.